Australian business leaders are launching their crusade against the Albanese government, fighting the red tape minefield that they argue Labor's new IR reforms are creating. One of their key points about the same job, same pay reform is that they say it will disincentivise workers. Joining me now to discuss is the Chief Executive Officer of the Minerals Council of Australia, Tania Constable. Tania, thank you so much for your time. Look, why are you so worried about these reforms that the Albanese government's introducing?
Sharri, we don't have any detail on these reforms. Consultation paper, when we received it, and we've been dealing with this issue for over 12 months now, really doesn't provide assurances to business. This particular policy, it's not fair. It doesn't go to the opportunity for businesses and workers, and that's what we want to emphasise to everybody.
Well, look, after you launched your campaign this week or just yesterday, Tony Burke, who's the Minister for Industrial Relations, he came out and said that business leaders are mad to oppose the reforms. Have a quick look.
The government conversation's about closing loopholes, and the business conversation today has been, plain loopy. They were claiming that it means that you can no longer pay someone more because they've been in your business for longer. Like, it's just not true. All I can presume is that they know that this loophole is indefensible.
What's your response to his claims, particularly that point where he says it's just not the case that you won't be able to pay someone with more experience a higher wage?
Well, we find that completely wrong. For a start, he talks about Labor loopholes. This particular policy, his consultation paper, what we saw in a bill in 2021, doesn't talk about Labor loopholes. It talks Labor hire loopholes. It talks about applying to a broad range of different employment groups. It talks about service contractors that could be providing services, not workers. He talks about that it applies to enterprise agreement arrangements. And of course, the consultation paper is very, very broad. It talks about it addressing undercutting wages. Well, it's much broader than just talking about undercutting wages. And we would argue very, very firmly that the policies as they stand are very broad. They need to be much, much narrower to address a small, limited number of circumstances. And what he's suggesting is much broader than that.
All right, Tania Constable, thank you very much for your time tonight, and we will see your adverts continue to run out, to run on televisions and radio, because you really are fighting the government's IR reforms.